In today's lesson, I'll be talking about timbre, but first let me give a quick introduction. My name is Andrew, and I live in the San Francisco Bay Area in California, in the USA. I work doing a lot of music production, and I've actually been doing a bit more scoring recently, which is really exciting, a lot of fun. But okay, let's get into it. What is timbre? To put it simply, timbre is the collection of frequencies a voice or instrument makes. That's also called the spectral envelope. But there's other aspects of timbre that I won't go into today just because timbre is a deep and vast subject and we could spend all day and only have 5 minutes. Okay, so let's just tackle that spectral envelope side of things. You might think that playing a single note would mean that there's only one frequency, but as Loudon explained in the video lectures, it's actually not usually the case. It is the case if you're talking about a sine wave, however. So I'll play one for you right now. Okay, so you can see that on the spectrum analyzer, there's only one peak. That one peak indicates that sound is made up of a frequency of roughly 260 hertz. Notice also that the timbre is pretty broad. That's due to the fact that there are no other frequencies making up this note. Most sounds, however, are made up of multiple frequencies, and that is what contributes to that spectral envelope, which in turn contributes to the timbre of the sound. So let's take a look at a different instrument making the same note, and I'll play the same note on a piano. This is middle C. You'll notice immediately that there are multiple frequencies. It's no longer just at 260 hertz. There are names for all these different peaks, and I'll go into them right now. The first one, the lowest one, is called the fundamental. And usually the lowest one you see is the fundamental unless there are subharmonics, which are actually integer divisions. So if we took this one at 260 and divided it, and there was one at 130, that would be a subharmonic. The ones above are actually integer multiples, so these are called harmonics. And together, all of these make up the spectral envelope of middle C on this piano, which in turn contribute to the timbre of middle C on this piano. Now you might be saying, well, I only hear one note. So let me actually use this equalizer to boost the harmonics so you can start to hear those guys as well. And pretty soon you'll be hearing all the different frequencies and realizing how they combine to make the middle C. Here is the fundamental. That one's pretty obvious because that's what your brain naturally hears, and I'll go into that in just a moment. But let me boost some of the harmonics so you can hear those as well. First one is an octave. The next one's actually a G, which is not a C at all. And yet it combines with the other harmonics to create the spectral envelope that makes this middle C. Just an interesting side note, even if the fundamental is missing, your brain is quite amazing and can fill in the missing fundamental for you to still hear the note. Your brain actually listens to all the different relationships between the harmonics to figure out the fundamental. And if you don't believe me, watch, and I'll cut out the fundamental. And I'll actually cut the first harmonic too because that's an octave. And then the first note you'll actually be hearing is actually that G, that second harmonic. And yet if you listen, you're still hearing that C. Even though you can hear the G really well, you still hear the C, which is quite awesome. So I mentioned it before, but timbre is one of the biggest factors for our brain recognizing voices. So I'm going to play just a couple vocal clips that I have, and you might recognize these people. You might not. So let me play one and then the other.
I know that we are upside down, so hold your tongue and hear me out. I know that we were made to break, so what, I don't mind.
I've been everywhere, man, looking for someone who can please me, love me all night long. I've been everywhere, man, looking for you, babe, searching for you, babe.
Okay, if you listen to the top 40 much, you probably recognize both of these songs. The first singer is Hayley Williams of Paramore singing Stay the Night by Zedd, but you probably didn't recognize my friend singing Where Have You Been by Rihanna. Why is that? It's because her voice has a different timbre than Rihanna's, namely the relationship of the harmonics to the fundamentals in terms of amplitude. That's what makes up her different spectral envelope, which in turn contributes to her different timbre. Actually, that's the only difference because I played a slight trick on you guys, and it's just an imaginary friend. It's actually, the track is actually Rihanna herself, and I've just modified her spectral envelope. But if you don't believe me, I will just show you by playing them back to back.
I've been everywhere, man, looking for someone who can please me, love me all night long. I've been everywhere, man, looking for you, babe, searching for you, babe.
Okay, so that's my quick video on timbre, really just the one aspect I covered, the spectral envelope. And I hope it helped you understand how the spectral envelope relates to timbre, how timbre helps us identify sounds and noises, and how sound is so much more than just one frequency, even notes on a piano or notes on a flute or whatever it is. And sorry I kind of rushed in this video. Please feel free to just let me know what you thought, if I need to work on something or I might have skipped some definitions while I was busting through it, trying and failing to get in it under 5 minutes. But yeah, thanks.